The District of Columbia, aka Chocolate City, or maybe we should call it the Chronic Capital. Legalized in February of 2015, marijuana can now be grown and smoked in private homes by medical and recreational users. Approximately 1 year and 8 months after the enactment of Initiative 71, we check in with some DC residents and see how they feel about the impact.
The reason why I've never tried marijuana is because I don't know if it's a psychological thing, but I tend to want to be in control of how I feel at any given point in time.
Marijuana saved my life.
And I'm just like looking at how the world treats black men. So I know that a lot of it has to do with the prohibition of cannabis.
I guess everything I learned about marijuana making you dumb wasn't true.
Unless it's for medical reasons, marijuana is one drug that you do not want to mess with at all.
Our job is to really educate people on the wide varieties of cannabis and ingesting cannabis that are out there.
At the end of the day, you're stressed and you're tired, and maybe you don't want to have a drink.
Yeah.
And this is going to help you relax and go to sleep.
It was at that moment where I realized, I was like, wow, this is an interesting plant.
From a dispensary manager, to the main protagonist behind Initiative 71, to local radio hosts, a music producer, an anonymous grower, and college students. We go behind the scenes to bring you the details of each person's unique experience with marijuana.
A long time ago, this was the symbol, this hat right here, was a symbol of being a freed slave. Whether you were a freed slave in the Americas, whether you were a freed slave in ancient Rome or ancient Greece, it goes all the way back to the time of Alexander the Great when he conquered the Phrygians. Whatever the outcome was, we would have voted, the people would have spoken, and if Congress decided to overturn the will of the people, that would be remembered forever. That would be history. And the other way around was enough pressure was put on Congress, enough people in Congress didn't want to mess with Washington, D.C., to create this fight here over democracy, really. And so it makes a lot of sense that the law was enacted. It's also very much the mayor of Washington, D.C. having the courage to transmit the initiative on time, and the chairman of the city council keeping his word that he would treat it like any other piece of legislation, which is what he told me when we met prior to the law even passing by the voters.
I think I'm more in touch with my inner self a whole lot. Weed helps you get closer to God too, if you're a very spiritual person and you use it within that way.
If I had to give my take on it, I would say that's one thing that I would say no. That's not how you get closer to God at all.
That's interesting. I know of the use of incense to appease, for lack of a better word, or appeal to God. However, in my reading of the Bible, I've never heard of using marijuana to feel a little more spiritual or to attach yourself to God or to come closer to God.
I've been working in the industry for quite some time. Here, specifically the past few years, we've had a variety of patients who have just had a general improvement of life or their health and well-being. Lots of our patients have been able to reduce other medications, especially other pain medications like opioids and things like that.
One thing that I've personally found was concentrates. They're very strong, higher THC levels. So I eat it, and then with acupuncture, it literally relaxes my muscles.
For example, this one young girl, she had roughly, don't quote me, roughly 327 strokes a week. So roughly about 2 strokes an hour, I think it was, she would have. And they switched her to, it got so bad to the point where they, decided to, let's try, medical marijuana and see how this goes. They tried it out. Right after using it, she went from 327 strokes a week to roughly about 1 stroke a week.
Are you a first-time grower or smoker? Have questions about edibles and other forms of intake? Are you looking to start your own dispensary? Or do you have what it takes to start the movement for legalization in your own state? We have a few seeds of advice for you.
Try it around people that you trust. Try it around safe people. See who's rolling it. If you're gonna roll it, be a smart roller.
It doesn't seem like the best thing to do, you know? But if it's legalized and it helps people, I'm all about helping people. If it helps people, it's a very good thing.
If they're a DC resident, we can help them to become a patient and get them here. So it's really just easy, finding a doctor, and then going through the steps of applying. And we have that someone actually personally that can assist them through the entire process. So, yep.
I'm talking about using it in general. So, again, you got to be careful with that.
If you're curious, definitely educate yourself. Ask your close friend. Don't try to go to a complete stranger to buy some marijuana for your first time.
Well, if you have a ballot initiative, what are you waiting for? Not every state has the initiative process, but it'll pass. Get together with your friends and put it on the ballot, and don't turn it into a monopoly. Keep it egalitarian.
So we urge you to go out and petition and vote, or grow your own plants, or smoke, or don't do any of those things. Just do what is best for you, and remember to be responsible.
But have y'all read anywhere that, smoking weed, if you heavily smoking weed, it's just like smoking any other drug. You would go out there, you would steal for it, you would spend all your money on it. Y'all read on that too? Yeah, I like what y'all was doing. I like what y'all was doing.